Hello, and welcome to another video tutorial for the Flame Tracker application. In the last video, we installed the Flame Tracker starting from the GitHub repository, and in this video, we will see the video editing functions of the Flame Tracker, and we'll refer to the wiki page video editing. The graphically user interface, or simply GUI, is conceptually divided in two sections. The preview box at the top is used to control and edit images and videos, while the analysis box in the lower section of the GUI changes based on the tracking method you select with Choose Analysis, and initially it will look empty. The preview box has four columns, and in the first one over here, there is a text box used by the program to send messages to the user, and right below it, there is a help button which contains information about the preview box, and we will see the rest of the functions in a second. We can start by opening a file. The Flame Tracker can open both images and videos, and in the GitHub repository, you will find some examples that you can use to replicate what I'm going to show here. So let's open first the video in the examples folder, which shows an experiment of a flame spreading over a cotton sample. As soon as we open the video, we get the preview in this label on the right, and the message box will tell us that the file was opened correctly. At the bottom of the first column, we have the video size in pixels, the frame rate, the total number of frames, and the video duration, while the rest of the columns have the parameters that we can play with. In the second column, I can specify the frame range that I want to consider in my video, and I can get an idea of this range by simply using the slider and scroll through the video. The portion of the video that you see here is limited by the first and last frame, and since I just opened the video, the Flame Tracker is just considering the entire range. But I can type a specific frame to start and one to end with. As you probably noticed, the rectangular sample at the beginning of the video has a perspective and the edges look inclined, but we can correct this if we know the original size of the sample. In this case, the horizontal length is about 150 millimeters and the vertical one is 50 millimeters. I can type these numbers in the respective labels and then click on Correct Perspective. We now have to click on the four corners of the sample, and a pop-up message reminds us the click order that we need to follow. We click in a clockwise direction starting from the top right, so we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 points, and now the perspective is corrected. We can check the rest of the video, and if we want to, we can also increase or decrease the brightness or contrast of the video with the sliders in the third column, or rotate it, for example. If we made a mistake, we can always click on Restore Original, and the changes will be discarded, with the exception of the rotation angle that can be directly controlled. To correct the perspective again, we can go back to the beginning of the video where we can see the entire sample since the flashing light was on. And I will repeat the steps of before and the video is corrected again. An important parameter for video analysis is the number of pixels corresponding to a specific length scale. And this number can be obtained from calibrations or measured from a known length in the video. If I know a length, by clicking on Measure Scale, the selected frame will show in a new window, and we can click on two known locations. And in our case, we can click on the corners of one of the sample edges and insert the value in millimeters to determine the scale, which is assumed the same in the entire image. Another useful function that can help in the analysis of a video is the selection of a region of interest. In this case, for example, we have some background in the video that could have reflections or other undesired noise, so we can click on the region of interest button and see the selected frame in a new window. At this point, I can click and drag a rectangle over the frame and click enter whenever I am done. Now, in the preview label, we can see the region of interest superimposed on the original video. At this point, we make sure that the first and last frames are the ones that we want to use. And for this example, we can start from 1000 and finish around 4100. Basically, we're now ready for the analysis, so we can save the editing parameters as a CSV file by clicking on the Save Parameters button, and so we can later load them. A copy of these parameters is available also in the repository. If we like the edited video and we want to permanently apply the changes, we can export the video by typing the desired frame rate, which can change from the original value, for example, if we're skipping frames, and the codec and format of the new video. If you need help with the frame rate, you can always click on the question mark and find out how to calculate it. When we're ready, we click on Export Video and type the name for the new video. The GUI will not respond during the process, but we can check the progress on the terminal. And at the end, the message box will tell us that the process is done. We have seen an overview of the editing functions of the Flame Tracker, and now we could click on Choose Analysis and pick one of the tracking methods available. In the next videos, we will see how to use these methods, but before that, I want to show you how to open images in the Flame Tracker. We start by clicking on the relative button, and then we click on Open. And we can also open a sequence of images in the same way, but this time the program will ask us for the frame rate to use. If we simply write 1, we'll have one frame changing every second, and from here we can proceed in the same way we saw for the example video. This concludes the section of the video editing. Thanks for watching, and feel free to contact me if you find any issues.